Suscríbete y activa la campanita, no lo olvides.
Hey, what happened, Bana? Welcome to Revientor. This is Falcon Bms 4.34, and we are going to speak about something that is configuration. Configuration can be made in this file, config.exe, or in the launcher. Here is the launcher, and here is configuration. This is the old F4PATCH, currently known as configuration, but it's easy. Really easy. Let's go to break down what is in each folder. Cursor speed is going to depend on you. It's the speed of the radar cursor. If you are using keyboard, maybe you need get your cursor speed higher. Or if you have any potentiometer that is quite dead, maybe you have to increase the speed of the cursor. But it's up to you. Don't worry. High contrast MFDs. In case you have some problems with the visual colors or whatever, it's up to you again. Have high contrast. Radar scale is for the bits, for that small dots or rectangles that you see to is the contact. Make it bigger or smaller in case you have, I don't know what you want to make it smaller, but bigger if you have visual problems, you can make them bigger. Smaller HSD symbols. This by default is on. I turn it off because I like to switch my weapon, my start points with the HD cursor. If the is smaller is turned on, I'm going to have some problems sometimes because I have to stay click around 10 times to click that small dot using my cursor. But in this bigger side, I can easily select a waypoint with my HD cursor. And for that is turn it off in my case, but in your case, do whatever you want. No bar cap versus bar cap in 2D. This means that if you have an enemy cap here, it's a capping, and you have a friendly cap here, they are not going to engage in the 2D map. 2D view in the map because it's quite stupid. Bar cap fighting versus bar cap. You are defending, they are defending, you know they are not coming. Don't spend your defense resources to attack, okay? For that I turn it on, but currently it's quite a bogus. Turn it off or turn it on. Okay, be careful because there is a bug for the moment, but in the future will be solved and it's going to work fine as usual. General briefing, get a file with the briefing info. I don't know what you want, have a file. Maybe if you use our website or whatever, you can use this file also in this new format, also in HTML to get a better web view. But what is important is the briefing output file. Maybe you close really fast the briefing, you forgot to look something or whatever. You have check anytime the file, the brief text file, okay? Open new briefings is going to add then the briefing or briefing in that file. New file, not a new file, in the same file, get more info of the all your debriefings in all your flight time. For that you take care of the size of this file by the time, okay? Displacement camera. This is only for external views. The plane, the camera, steady or displacement. It's only to make it more nice. Enable unsure mouse cursor. This is quite pain on the ass sometimes because the cursor of your mouse is going to be stuck in some hotspot. For example, you are using the ICP with the cursor, with the mouse, and you want to go to number 1 and then to number 2. It's not easy as move, click, move, click. You have to move, okay? Number 1, click, move fast, move. Okay, it's not easy move if the cursor get anchored to that bottom on the cockpit. For the left and right console with using tracker could be nice to get one switch and keep the cursor there even if you move the track a view, but sometimes it's a pain of the ass. For that, I have turned it off. Field of view is field of view. I have 80 degrees, default is 60. What this does is make the pilot go back and get more view. But of course, you are going to get the data, head-up display, letters smaller. Okay, could be a problem for you. In my case, it's not. I am happy with that. Also, all my videos are in 80 degrees. You can see that. Full screen night vision goggles. No, turn it off, please. You don't have full screen vision goggles in real life. You have panoramic. There are some panoramic vision goggles, but not for pilots for a moment, I think. Turn it off, please. No padlock boxes. Also, turn on this option to do not have padlock boxes, because you can use padlock in case you don't have tracker. It's a good tool. But please don't see a blue red square that is telling you what if it's friendly or not. No, thank you. This is the format of the screenshot in case you use them. If you use PNG format, it's going to spend more resources while you are making the screenshot. Sorry. And if you have a low power personal computer, you can turn it off to use to JPG. How to say JPG format. Okay. You can turn it off to get a JPG pictures, and that picture are going to have lower quality, but your computer is not going to stop when you are making a screenshot. Okay. Padlock box side also side 0, please. Don't be. For me, it's quite cheater. This, okay. Try intro movie on startup as you want. If you turn it off, you are going to get to enter. You're going to enter faster in the same. Taxi start at ramp. This could be important. Okay, if you turn this on as I have, you have to. I recommend you edit other number later. I will tell you later on the video. But what this does is if you are going to jump in the cockpit when your airplane is already turned on, is in taxi mode, you are not going to start near the runway. You are going to start maybe in a shelter, hangar, or whatever point where you are going to do the normal ramp start. Okay, I think it's good, this feature. Use HG altimeter as you want. I am in Europe, I am in Spain, I use millibars. This is more for English people, American people. Okay. Hardware. .5 missile override cell counter. My hottest cougar has this button over here. It's 3 positions, but only two of them have a button. In the middle there is nothing. One button, center there is nothing, and the other position have one button. In the center again is nothing. I have this turning on because in that way, when I release the press of one of that button, it's going to self-cancel. It's like press cancel K. If you use software for to edit your JQuar profile or SciTech or Logitech, whatever, maybe you don't need this because you are using 3 different keyboards, the KD, the KC, the K Shift D, I think it is. I am only using direct X button, the X-ray button, then I need this. Enable virtual rudder. This is for cars pedals, okay, accelerate and brake. If you don't have airplane pedals, you cannot do that. Only car pedals do this. I never used this because I don't have them, but in theory is to make them work like it was airplane pedals. Okay, try it. Enjoy if you can. External display. I always use this to make my Falcon in window mode, not in full screen mode, in window mode. But also I turn on external windows always on top. But do not forget in the cockpit extract displacement, turn off the windows that you don't want to have turned on. Okay. High resolution textures. In case in the folder find some high resolution textures, you can use them. If there is any, it's not going to be used. By default, there is a few of them, but you can add more of them. Idle cutoff. This is only for cut builders in particular. If you have this JS Cougar, for example, this don't have any sound, as you can see. But the original one have some stops. You can put them in any place, really, and maybe you can one of them to make the turn off engine, because you move the throttle backward until that stop, and then crack. You have to make more energy or whatever to get over the cutoff, and you can set up to real idle cutoff. Okay, it's a mechanical thing. You will set up, if you turn this on, you will set up on the setup on Falcon Bms. Low resolution for clouds. I don't see any difference in high resolution, low resolution. Then why not save some RAM here, some memory. Reduce particle systems. This is going to be really handful for you if you have a low power PC, personal computer. This is going to make half of the percent of the particles. In case when you drop a bomb, the explosion, the smoke, half of the smoke when a car is driving, is going to be good for your computer if you don't have enough power to get some new frames. Shaders. This frames killer. Glass environment mapping is going to make in your canopy, in the external views, you can see other reflected things in your canopy. For example, the clouds, other airplane, like a mirror, you know. Lighting effects. How the computer is going to make the calculation to make the lightning per pixel, a lot of calculation, a lot of frames, or per vertex, like a line. It's going to be faster and you are going to save a lot of frames. And it's nice. Process effects, processing. HDR lighting is going to give you a very nice colors. You can turn it off and you are going to get a few frames. But I think it must be on because it's going to be more live, the colors more real, I think. Jet heat exhaust is only when you are near the airbase. When your plane is flying around 250 knots and over, this effect is going out, and then it's rarely seen. You are going to see this effect only when you are doing taxi, your plane near you, looking that heat in the engine. Motion blue, I don't like it. With my eyes, I don't see any special thing, but when you make a screenshot, you are going to see the plane blur. I don't like it. I want my screenshot perfect with a steady plane, no a blur one. Sorry. Rain effects. Fire rain is going to be, you have a near rain and a far rain. It's nice effect because it's going to look more rain because you have two curtains of rain and it's going to be better. But you can save some frame if you need them. Raindrops is in your canopy. These drops when you are on taxi or flying really slow. Or when you are in external views, also that drops on the camera. Rain rings is when the rain hit the ground, the circle, or over the winds also. Shadow mapping, frame killer, cockpit shadows, very nice. Frame killer is the cockpit on the shadows on the cockpit. Focus shadow is the airplane shadow on the ground, for example, or over a building or whatever. It's really nice, but you normally don't see this if you are not looking outside looking for it. Shadow on smoke, really frame killer. You are not going to see them very usually, but this is what it means. The shadow over what particle system that you have, these particles, okay? Not over a cloud, for example. Water normal mapping, volume mapping, cloud reflection. Easy. See the clouds reflected on the water, on the water, on the sea, in the ocean, okay? Focus object, the very same that the clouds, but with objects. The clouds, I see them very often on the water or on the ocean, but focus object only when I am on taxi near some water, not in other occasion. Track your settings, control external view, self-splintered, external view inverted, quite crazy I think. Triple buffering, see the warnings. In Windows 7 or 8 you can have black screen. And be careful if you use G-Sync or FreeSync. I don't know what is that anyway. If you are using window mode, not full screen, turn it off. In full screen you can give it a try and look if you get more frames or less. Modifications. I tell you turn all of them off, because if you don't have, as you can see here, this is a pylon on this airplane. The real one, pylon, is going to let you have more chaff and flare, but in Falcon BMS you cannot have more chaff and flare. Then if you cannot use it, why have it? Turn it off. If you are using really big resolutions or rare, and AWACS or Tanker, any menu that you use to communicate with the computer, if you see that menu weird, the text is broken or it's really small, you can use this function to make the text bigger or try to fix it. Fly F16 only F16s in the list of the fly schedule in the campaign or tactical engagement. Multiplayer, this is critical. This is going, the host is going to force to the client use this, okay? When you are a host, you are going to force to the people use this. Freeze allow, okay, you know that you can pause the simulation, but also you can freeze. Freeze means that the sim's still living, you can move the cursor, you can use the radar, but everything is stop, is freeze, okay? Night vision allow, perfect, okay. Full screen allow, no, thank you, cheater. Same aircraft data files. This is an anti-cheat system, but many times I see it is very restricted, and some people in my virtual squadron have problems, and I know that they didn't edit the aircraft data files. But if you have a host, turn it on. If it's only casual flights with your friends, turn it off. Same tile set required. It's the same. It's not it's like an anti-cheater system, because if I have my ground is totally black or white, I can really see your plane in a dogfight, for example. For that, it's good to have the very same tile set. Smoke allow, no. If you use smoke in real life, you lose one of the wingtip missiles because you need a special device. Then, no, it's not good. It's not real. Startup restricted. If you are not a dedicated server, leave it as it is. RAM, taxi, and takeoff in default mode. But if you have a server, I strongly recommend you only use RAM and taxi, or maybe ramp for that server, you know. Okay, now let's go to see this option that I tell you when you set in this general, taxi start at ramp. Okay, here in Falcon user config, open the Falcon Bms.cfg. I drop here this file, and now it's open. Okay, it's open here, Falcon BMS CFG. Sorry. Look for this line. Set taxi launch time and put the number 6. I am testing with number 6. I think it's good enough. Maybe you can try the number 8. It's in minutes, okay? This means when you put or select taxi or ramp or takeoff, okay, mode to jump into the cockpit. If you select taxi, you are going to enter in taxi when you have 6 minutes to go to takeoff, okay, instead of 2 by default. Okay, I like to put the very same number here because this is when the computer respawn or when the computer disappear when landing. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, my English, you know, I am from Spain, the Spanish speaker, you know, my English is quite Spanish pronunciation, and I have some problems telling something like artificial intelligence. Okay, I hope you understand everything that I told you. Subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and enjoy the next video. Don't deep stall and be happy. Bye bye.
No olvides suscribirte, darle a like y revisar mis últimos vídeos. Subscribe, give me a thumbs up and check my other videos.